in a minute. This ain't happened in a minute. Y'all. Oh my goodness. The video failed. How y'all doing? This is your hostess with the mostest, Donna Smith, aka Lady D, going live for you guys on a Wednesday. I forgot what day of the week it was. I am sitting out here, excuse me, just trying to get a little warmth for a minute before I have to head on in. But I just wanted to stop by and say hi, you guys. It's been really a trying day. It's been really a trying week. Today is Wednesday. I've had a couple of days of some really serious trials, and but you know what? We always get through. We always get through. What you got to do is you have to find that special place of peace, and you have to find where your faith and your blessings are to be able to get you through. Look, you guys, look at this. The sister got her hair hooked up. I ain't even got my hair. My hair ain't down, nothing like that, because it's just, I left the house this morning to go and take care of business right quick so I can run back home. And my car started shaking, wobbling, making all these funny noises like it was getting ready to cut off and just acting up, right? So I'm like, oh my goodness, what's going on with my car? And I forgot that somebody I know had knew a mechanic shop that was not far from me or wherever, you know what. And I said, well, let me call them. Called them. They were able to take me right away. Got there. They were able to, check the check engine light. Everything came on, and they were able to let me know that it was my spark plugs. Yep, spark plugs. All of them. Every single one needed to be replaced. And, two of them was worse than the other, but from what I was told, you don't replace all of them. You replace two, the other two is going to go bad sooner or later, so you need to do what you got to do, right? Just do them all. So I had to do that. Mind you, I commute almost 100 miles a day when I am going back and forth to work. I have been out on leave trying to heal back, as most of you know who follow me, that I've had surgery a couple of weeks ago. So I'm still in a healing mode. But other than that, I am trying to progress and get to the point where I eat comfortably. I'm still having issues with the swallow. Um, and it's getting lumped kind of, but the diaphragm had to be sutured, and the esophagus area, whatever. I had a hernia that had to be repaired, hiatal hernia, and they had to do all this stuff. And so it takes a minute for that to heal, for you to feel comfortable with your eating. So anyway, I had to get that done and then go and get to the store and do some things. So when I came home and I just kind of sat here, I just got in mode of just not wanting to move, just feeling like I just wanted to sit and let this sun hit me. I got sun, if you can kind of see, the sun is hitting me in a way that's making me feel really warm and fuzzy right now. And so that's what it's all about. But I just wanted to remind you guys that sometimes we think that we're the only ones that's going through things. We're the only ones that have bad days, as well as some say good days. But um, everybody goes through their seasons. Everybody goes through times where today is wonderful and tomorrow and the next day may be horrible. But you have to remember that these seasons do pass, and we do go through certain trials for certain reasons, to bring us strength, to bring us wisdom, to bring us a testimony, you know. To be able to give a testimony to somebody regarding where you've come from, to build up your faith. Because if you don't go through things and get through things, you guys, this is the slowest mailman. It is five. What time is it here in California? It's five. I don't have my watch, but it's five something, I think, or close to 5 o'clock. He just now zooming on down the street here, delivering some mail, and got to come back up my way. So I guess I'll get my mail at 6 o'clock. I don't know. But anyway, it's not the fact that we go through things, it's how we get up from it. And for the most part, I have those very wonderful days. I have good energy days. I have positive mindset days. But there comes a time when you get slipped upside the head with something that just woo knocks you back for a minute. And it's nothing worse than when things hit home, when they hit your heart, when they pierce deep. That's when you start feeling the gut punch the most by it. And those who are closest to you usually are those who can affect you the deepest as far as, you know, emotionally sending you through the trials. But you have to remember that this too shall pass. It shall pass. When I was going up and down the aisle in the store, briefly, slowly pushing this buggy, slowly, slowly, and I'm just thinking about all the little things I needed and stuff like that. But I had to feel a blessing in the moment that I'm able to come out and get these things, right? And you just have to remember those things, the ability to wake up this morning, even though I had a rough night, even though I didn't sleep well. I haven't been sleeping well, you guys. I have had some tossing and turning type of nights that has been unbelievable. And when the morning comes, I am feeling groggy, sleepy, and then I try to get some rest. And before I know it, if I don't have anything planned, I am kind of stuck with, my day being kind of on and off with the sleep and stuff, and it's not good. So I'm hoping that this too shall pass with this season that I'm going through at the moment with my uneasiness and unable to rest. And I wanted to reiterate how stress affects you. Stress will affect your body, your mind, and your soul in a way that could literally kill you. It could kill you. And, sometimes we're quietly dealing with stressful situations in our lives or with people that's close to us or, even our own families. We're dealing with stress and it takes a toll. And especially with men, because men are more introverted with their emotions and how they feel. There's some men who cry and let it out, and emotionally you just will always know where they're at. But there's a large percentage that will hold that in because they were taught as young boys, young men growing up, not to be a wimp, not to be one to cry, not to be one to show your emotions like that. And so they go through this lifetime with holding it in front of people. Now, what they do behind closed doors, I don't know, but in front of people, they hold it in, and that's a stressor. That's a stress thing. Women, we are all over the place with emotions. If we're a crier, we're gonna cry. If you have pissed us off, you have pissed us off. If we have something to say, we gonna say it. We don't know nothing about trying to hold nothing in and being swole up like, constipation. I don't know if that go together, but constipation, yeah. So yeah, so what we do is we end up emotionally stressing, letting that out. And so it's a fact that men hold it in more than women. A lot of times men's life their range of life is a lot shorter because of stress that they do withhold. They get sicknesses and a lot of stuff more so than women because we seem to kind of get rid of that stuff a little easier. But what you got to do is you have to find a way to release your energy, I mean, your stress, in a way that is done in positive energy. You have to find something and identify with things that is your likes, that is your comfort zone, that is your comfort food, something that you're being fed with, that brings you pleasure, that brings you gratification, that brings you comfortability. You have to look deep within you to gather and look for those things that make you feel a certain way. And once you identify that and you find that, things become so much easier for you to live by, to deal with. Um, the stress becomes less because, there is things that we just can't do anything about. Let's just face it. Life brings about a challenge. There's things that pew, pew, you didn't even see it coming. It's like, what was that? And then there's those things that you saw it coming, but you thought you was prepared, but you wasn't. Then those things that come, and it's like you can't do nothing about it. You can't fix it. You can't undo it. You can't unwind it. You can't trip it up. You can't fold it up and put it in a drawer. You can't do nothing. So you have to learn how to step back from it. Let things handle themselves. Let things heal on their own. Do all of that. You have to find a way to let that mold in a positive way that will be positive to you and not negative. And so these are things we have to acquire. We have to look for that. We have to dig deep within for that ability to handle the stressors in that way. And just be mindful. Sometimes we may think that nobody's going through this. Is man, ain't nobody going through this. I know this is just trust me, it's somebody going through that and something a lot worse. Your story is not the end and all. Your story is not the worst of all. There is people who are going through things worse than you. And when you sit up and identify that and see that for what it is and realize that, that should help bring a little bit more comfort because um man, if you had a whole football field of people telling their stories about everything, you're going to find a host of them that got similar situations. And then you're going to find a host of them that's going to have something a lot worse. And you be like, I thought I had, man, did you hear that? They going through it. And it makes you appreciate and it makes you identify with life differently. I never forget when I first traveled, one of many when I went to Jamaica years ago, when I first went, and just to see the status of life for them there, to see how blessed I was here back home with just taking for granted with having a washing machine, taken for granted by having comfort down um, comforters and heating blankets and fluffy pillows and sparkly shoes. Even if they were from Payless, they still sparkle. Um, things that we take for granted on a day-to-day basis. Going to school, education. Some families were able to not get the education and some were. Depends on your financial status. It's just a lot of things that you saw. Being in the creek, washing your clothes by hand. There's still some old school people who do that now. Washing them underwear in the sink, real good. Washing a couple of little t-shirts and all that, and they hang them up. You go to some of these old school houses, they got a lot clothesline in the backyard with some of those clothes pins. And I think they still sell them. I think you may find them in a dollar store or something. You may find them in Walmart. But anyway, they hang their little clothes up on the clothesline that they've washed by hand. Some still will do that, especially if you don't have a washing machine, you don't have any money, you can't get to the wash house, or sometimes you get to the wash house, you don't have enough to dry your clothes. So you wash them, then you bring them home and hang them up. So you do what you got to do. But when you're in somewhere like Jamaica and you see the struggle is real every day. This is how it is. They don't have no options. We have options here. You either find a washing machine. If you don't have one at home, you go get one at the wash house. You do it. You go to a friend's house, your mama's house, your daddy's house, your uncle's house, your auntie, your cousin. You wash your clothes. But when you're living somewhere where the norm is you don't have that kind of thing, it makes you really appreciate home, and having to build your houses in little huts and stuff, and you know, going across town on the bus for hours and hours and hours to get to work, and then you get there and you making 10, 15, 20 cents an hour, and then you gotta pay to get back on the bus and go for hours and hours back home, and then you have your family and dinner and the needs of your mate and all this stuff you got to take care of at home to get a few more hours of sleep and to get up and do it again. We take for granted that here, first off, we got our alarm clocks. We make a whole lot more than 20 cents an hour. Now minimum wage, I think, is what? Well, it was $15. It may be $20 now, but minimum wage then creeped up to a nice little comfortable amount. So you could be flipping burgers or something, and you doing all right. But the cost of living is greater here. But there's a lot of things that we have here now that is considered a luxury. It's considered a luxury. So when you go to these places and visit, it makes you really appreciate. And so what we have got to do, grown folks, is we've got to appreciate what we have. We got to appreciate the ability to, rise up and do this again. We have to appreciate, being able to go through a few things and then tell your story and make your story known and be able to be a living purpose and example for someone who is going through something similar, less or worse, and they see your position by being one to have gotten through it, and they see how, I work in a hospital, and I'm gonna tell you, some people who come in that is so sick, they're so sick, and their personalities is so bubbly. I've had a couple who want to just tell me a couple of jokes. Can I tell you a joke? Let me tell you a joke today. And they go and they start telling you this joke, and the joke be kind of whack, but they be laughing and laughing and laughing. So you start laughing too, because you want to make them feel good, because the joke was kind of whack. But the fact that they had the spirit and know-how to want to do that, to want to have that laughter, to want to bring upon something to someone else to make them feel good when they have a situation that's bigger than big because of their health, or maybe they just found out that they're not going to be here in the next 6 months, or they just found out today that they have something terminal, or whatever the situation. They seem to always want to share some sunshine to someone else. So we have got to be thankful. We've got to be thankful, grown folks, for the ability. And I had to share that because in the midst of having some crappy couple of few days, in the midst of having, yesterday was one of the worst days I've had in a while. I had some challenges yesterday, but I am still here today. I'm here to click on this and give y'all a positive video. Plus, I got a lash that keeps falling in my doggone eye that's bothering me. But anyway, I'm able to sit up here in the midst of everything that I'm dealing with to bring you guys a video, to say something that's wonderful, that is uplifting, to bring forth the energy to try to be as positive as possible, to share a smile, because I tell you, sometimes it's difficult to do. And we just have to stay focused and appreciate the blessings that we have, and to be a blessing for someone else in a positive way. So I had to share that today. This is a short video. I'm still waiting on the mail person. I don't know where they at, but I think they're going to come back here in a minute. And I'm going to sit here for a minute. The sun's still up, and then I got to go on in there because it's time for me to take a little nap or something, y'all. When I come on here tomorrow, I have my hair done. Okay? But y'all saw me in the real today. All right, this is your hostess with the mostest, Donna Smith, aka Lady D, for an inspiring video of the day. Keep loving you, keep staying positive, take yourself to a higher level of non stress, to the ability that you can withstand and withhold anything that may try to come against you to bring you down, because depression is of the devil. That's what it is. It ain't nothing but of the devil. And anytime you get bombarded with a whole bunch of darkness and depression and not feeling good about yourself and everything else, that ain't no blessing. Let me tell you. So bind it. Bind it. Y'all have a great day. I'll see you soon. Bye.